Hi, and welcome back to That's Entertainment, the show where we normally look at all the interesting entertainment news from last week, this week. Today, we're going to be catching up on some of the additions that we made to the webinar that we ran 2 weeks ago. We ran a poll within that format, and I just thought it'd be interesting to run through the results that we got from that poll specifically. Without further ado, jumping into the first poll answer, where we asked the audience how many subscription services are they signed up to. Notably, this isn't a typical audience because it's made up of film and industry professionals and not just purely consumers of film. But it was surprising to see that the number of services on average that people were subscribed to was 3, which is under the average of 4 in the US. And this looks likely or is set to grow in Scandinavia in particular, as we have Disney Plus, which had newly entered the market several months ago. We have the pending HBO Max to replace the HBO Nordic service. Then we have Nentz Group's own Viaplay, which is determined to take on Netflix in the coming years, plus AVOD models, plus local suppliers like UC and everything else. So crowded market, but still the average number of subscriptions was around 3. Jumping into the second question that we asked our audiences, how much will the cinema going experience need to change to continue to attract audiences? We had 2 answers. A little, things are fine the way they are, or a lot, things need to improve. Surprising to see from this audience that such a large percentage of people are happy with the current state of cinemas. Is this a reflection on the number of participants from the webinar who work in and around exhibition? But overall, the large majority of people recognized a need for change within the industry. The third question revolved around how long do you think the theatrical window should be? We had 3 answers: 0 days, 31 days or less, or 31 days and more. The overwhelming response was 31 days plus. It was surprising to see 50% of people wanting a lengthier window. It doesn't seem to tally with the 59% of people that said cinemas need to change. A small minority seemingly want a true simultaneous day and date theatrical VOD release. Showing again the influence of the number of participants who work in and around the exhibition side of the business. If we take 0 days respondents and 31 days or less and add them together, then the split between the 2 options actually ends up being closer to 46% versus 52%. And finally, the fourth question, will a flexible theatrical window or simultaneous digital release of a film help it reach a wider audience online, or will it cannibalize the theatrical audience? We had 2 answers: it will reach a wider audience, or it will cannibalize the theatrical audience. This is a very odd result compared to the previous 2 questions. It seems to conflict with polls 2 and 3, but the vast majority support less dramatic changes to the current release strategy. A minority think that the theatrical release will be negatively affected by a flexible theatrical window. But encouragingly, the majority continue to support the continued growth of digital releases. So we have some confusion in our poll answers, probably reflected by the different people that answered the different questions, because we had quite a broad makeup in our show. And I think it's probably quite a good reflection on the subconscious of the industry right now, as people are in various degrees of conflict with the new business models that seem to be emerging. But it does show that there is a general consensus within the industry that changes must happen, yet there are no general agreements on what the actual changes will be. And I'm hoping through these future webinars that we'll begin to create a roadmap for the future. Anyway, just a quick and interesting update on the polling side of things. Our next webinar is on the 9th of March, where we'll be focusing on aspects of distribution and production, which I think will be very interesting for all you would-be filmmakers out there. Come in, learn about the business. It's extremely complicated, and there's lots that we need to change. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Remember that we release this show into LinkedIn and YouTube. The wider that we can get this distributed, the further the conversation will travel, the faster that we might actually come up with a new solution for the way that distribution and exhibition can work hand in hand with production. That's all for this week. Thank you very much. Have a great week, guys. Bye.